thought it would be the adventure of a lifetime, a voyage across the Pacific Ocean with the man she loved. Her name was Tami Oldham Ashcraft, and at just 23 years old, she had everything ahead of her: youth, freedom, love, and the endless horizon. In September of 1983, Tami and her fiancé, Richard Sharp, set sail from Tahiti on a 13-meter yacht called Hazana. Their destination, San Diego, California. A journey of over 6,000 kilometers, a test of skill, patience, and trust in the sea. The first few weeks were paradise. Warm winds, golden sunsets, dolphins racing alongside the boat. Tami kept a journal, writing about how she had never felt more alive. "Every wave feels like a heartbeat," she wrote. "Every sunrise feels like a promise." But in the ocean, beauty and danger live side by side. On October 12th, everything changed. As they sailed north, the radio crackled with warnings a tropical storm named Raymond was forming nearby. By the time they realized how strong it would become, it was too late to turn back. The winds grew violent. The sea roared like a living thing. Waves rose higher than houses, and the sky turned black. Richard and Tami worked frantically to secure the sails, to keep the yacht upright, but nature was merciless. The boat pitched violently, tossed like a toy in the hands of a furious god. "Get below deck," Richard shouted. "Now." Those were the last words she ever heard him say. A giant wave hit the boat broadside. Everything went dark. When Tami opened her eyes, she was lying on the cabin floor, half submerged in seawater. The world was silent except for the soft creak of the broken hull and the distant call of seabirds. Her head throbbed. Blood trickled down her face. She called out for Richard. No answer. She climbed to the deck. The mast was gone. The sails shredded. The ocean stretched endlessly in every direction. And Richard was gone. At first, she refused to believe it. She screamed his name into the wind. She searched the horizon for hours, days. But deep down, she knew the sea had taken him. Grief turned to shock. Shock turned to survival. Tami knew that if she gave up, she'd die out there. She gathered what little food was left: a jar of peanut butter, a few cans of fruit, and some rainwater she managed to collect. The yacht's radio was dead. The engine flooded. Her only tool was a sextant, a device sailors used before GPS, and a wristwatch that somehow still worked. Using the stars and sun, she calculated her position. San Diego was too far. But if she could aim for Hawaii, she might just make it. That was nearly 1,500 miles away. Alone. She cut away the broken mast and built a small makeshift sail from what remained. The wind became her only companion. The days blurred together. The sea was both her enemy and her only friend. Some mornings, the ocean was calm and blue, endless beauty stretching to the horizon. Other days, it felt like the sea wanted her gone. Waves slammed against the hull, lightning flashed, and she clung to life with trembling hands. She rationed every drop of water, every bite of food. She used a mirror to signal at passing ships. None saw her. She began to talk to herself, to Richard, to the sky. "I'm still here," she whispered one night. "I'm not giving up." She found small miracles in tiny things: a bird landing on the bow, a sudden rainbow after a storm, a single star that always appeared above her at night. That star became her compass and her hope. On the 23rd day, exhausted and delirious, Tami saw Richard, standing at the edge of the boat, smiling at her. "Keep going," he said softly. "You're going to make it." She blinked and he was gone. But his voice stayed with her. Later, she would write, "Maybe it was a hallucination. Or maybe it was love refusing to let me die." On the 41st day, just as the sun began to rise, Tami saw something strange on the horizon. At first, she thought it was a cloud. Then she saw green palm trees. Land. Her body trembled with disbelief. She steered toward the shore, using the last of her strength. Hours later, the yacht scraped against a reef near Hilo, Hawaii. When she tried to stand, her legs gave out. But she had made it. 41 days after the storm that destroyed everything, she had survived. When she was rescued, Tami weighed barely 45 kilos. Her skin was burned, her hair matted with salt, her hands blistered from rope. But her eyes were full of life. Later, she would say, "When I reached land, I realized something. The ocean took everything from me except my will to live." In the years that followed, she struggled with nightmares and grief. But she found peace in the same thing that almost killed her, the sea. She kept sailing. She wrote a book, Red Sky and Morning, a true story of love, loss, and survival. It became a bestseller, and in 2018, her story was adapted into the film Adrift. Today, Tami Oldham Ashcraft's story stands as one of the greatest survival tales ever told. A story not just about the power of the human body, but the strength of the human heart. She once said, "I learned that courage isn't about not being afraid. It's about being terrified and still doing what you must." Her story reminds us, even in the middle of an endless ocean, hope can be stronger than fear. And sometimes, the greatest love stories are the ones that carry us home even when we're all alone. In 1983, Tami Oldham Ashcraft set sail with her fiancé across the Pacific. But after a powerful hurricane destroyed their boat, she awoke to find herself completely alone thousands of miles from land. For 41 days, she battled hunger, storms, and despair, but never gave up. This is her true story, one of love, loss, and the strength of the human spirit.